A split for the South Dakota men last week. A big overtime win here at the Sanford College Sports Center against St. Thomas, and a tough rivalry loss to South Dakota State on Saturday. Here to talk about all that is head coach Eric Peterson. And Eric, the week started in a tough way. You find out midweek that you're going to be without Caleb Stewart because of illness, and coming up with a plan to play one of the better teams in the Summit League had to be that much more difficult.
Thank goodness we had a bye,
yeah.
right? St. Thomas is really good. They're super connected. They don't make a lot of mistakes, right? They just don't beat themselves very often. And our guys just played really tough, right, on offense and defense. We still have the number one defense in the league, surprisingly, right? When we haven't been very good on offense, and we found ways to score the ball.
You got off to a great start, which is something you had not done in Summit League play. Got up 9 early, but the Tommies, as they don't panic and they get back into it, kind of get control of that thing. How did you get your guys to stay confident, not feel like it was getting away from them?
Yeah, got down 10, right? And I showed the clip to our team after the game. It's like, hey, it was a 10-point game, and it could have gone a lot of different ways. And you just had guys that believed in it, right? And doing the little things in a great way was a huge message for us before the game. And you can't get it all back in one swing, right? You just got to keep swinging, hit singles. Can't hit the home run play every single time. And we found a way to get back in it and found a way in overtime.
Well, you knew without Caleb's production offensively, somebody else was going to have to step up. And that had been Boston in previous outings. He was good in this game as well. But I'll tell you, the one that Coyote fans hadn't got to see firsthand that really stepped up in a big way was Javon Hill. And that was just a sign of things to come. He had a great weekend all around.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. Good story with Javon, right? He started out on scout team, and he was close. And I talked to him almost every single week, like, Vaughn, you're very close, and when the timing is right, you will play for us. You just got to put your head down and keep working. And it was the right time. Played him a little bit against Oral Roberts, and obviously a lot more against St. Thomas, and really came through for us.
Talk about the end of the game. Obviously hits the one off the putback to force overtime. But those threes, especially the ones you dialed up specifically for him, that's a big ask of a redshirt freshman who hadn't been getting much time until the last couple of weeks. And, boy, he answered the call.
No question. I was asked after the game, hey, did you mean to run a play for Vaughn? It's like, absolutely, right? We diagram that stuff. We run it at practice, and he's very, very good at practice with our end outs as well. So I have a lot of confidence in him, and everybody on our team thinks he's going to make it when he shoots it. Well,
and you guys showed what you can do against one of the better teams in the Summit League, and without Caleb, and I think that had to have been a big confidence boost going into Saturday. Jack's coming to town. You throw everything out, though, because you never know exactly how those things are going to go, and that's a very experienced team, some high-level talent, and they showed right off the get-go and established themselves inside and kind of worked from there.
Yeah, our defense was great, right? I thought we defended them very well and held them to 70 points or whatever it was. And we just couldn't get anything going on offense, right? Just had some wide open looks in the first half, and we just didn't make shots, and that was the difference in the game. Was asked after the game in the press conference what was the difference. They made shots, we didn't, right? And it's a little bit more than that, but that's the simple way to put it. Thought they played great. They have two players that I think could play anywhere in the country. They're that good with Zeke Mayo and William Kyle. And Mayo was an absolute presence in the paint for them, and you look at the paint points, they own the paint.
Yeah, they really did. And that being said, I mean, you look at the offense, and you mentioned it, you make shots, and if you look at the numbers, especially on KenPom, it kind of bears that out, and it's the way it's been in conference play for you, albeit while you have the best defense, and that's helped level it out a little bit for you. Is there an exact science to fixing some of those issues? I know it's easy to say, well, just go make shots, but it isn't that easy.
Yeah, Caleb was a little rusty, right? It looked like he hadn't played in a week, and he hadn't. Like, he practiced on Friday and played on Saturday. So that hurt us a little bit, and it's not his fault, right, out due to illness. But part of it is, can we get to the middle of the pack on our offense and still be the number one defense? And once we get there, right, good things are going to happen for us, but we're not there yet. Part of it is some lineup stuff. Part of it is finding more ways to attack people. The scouting report's out, so they know how to guard us, right? And then just being able to counter that with some different things on offense, I think will really help.
Another thing that's going to help is having a little bit more depth to work with in the post. Mayon Boom, who missed 4 games, came back for ORU, and then I thought, obviously his minutes are what they are, but I thought he played some effective basketball when he was on the floor for you this weekend.
Yeah, the hardest part is we have 2 good bigs sitting on the bench, right? The awesome part is Lahat's very, very good, right? So with those guys, you never know how many minutes they're going to play. And Boom was out. He was injured for a while, and now he's coming back in, and he doesn't know how many minutes, right? But when he gets out there, he makes the best of those minutes, and he's been a huge boost for our team.
I know you'd prefer to stay at home because it was such a long stretch, 6 of 8 before this last weekend. But it is a road trip this weekend and a tough one at that. Two very different styles. Head to Denver first. Always a tough place to play, not only because the Pioneers are playing really good basketball right now, but because it's Denver and you have to add in the altitude factor. But then you go to Kansas City, a brand new team that's super athletic. How do you go about things?
Well, the scheduling gods do not like us because we played 6 of 8 on the road. We have 2 home games, right? Or we had 2 home games, and now we have 5 of 7 on the road. Do you know that?
I didn't
realize. We have 5 of 7 on the road now. Yeah. So the good part is we get some home games at the end of the year to finish, but the road has not been kind to us. Going to Denver, obviously they're a very good team, really good offensive team. They have the leading scorer in the country, not just the Summit League, the country. So we have to do a good job and slow him down, but they run their stuff at such good pace, right? They just share the ball, and they have a lot of weapons on offense, which makes Bruner a lot better as well. So we know that's going to be a tough challenge. And UMKC, brand new team, right? I was going through them yesterday, and I'm just like, man, who's this? Who's this? And so you're trying to get familiar with new guys. They take a lot of threes. They're a force inside as well. They're a very, very good offensive rebounding team, and they do turn teams over, which we've struggled with. So we know we have a tough road swing coming up, and we got a couple days to prep for it.
And another step or another opportunity for your team to continue to get working together and get on the same page. Obviously, it's with a lot of young guys. There's going to be ebbs and flows, but certainly last week you saw some signs that were pointing you in the right direction.
Yeah, I still really like our team. We're young. If you look at the statistics, we're one of the youngest teams in the country. I think we're bottom 40 with experience, and it's one of those deals where you're trying to play those guys because I plan to be here for a long time, right? It's not a quick fix. It's not a quick solution to figure it out by just recruiting all transfers and playing all old guys. We want to develop a program. We don't just want to develop a team, right? And that's how you build a program, by having young guys play and develop. And I still believe in those guys, and it's an awesome opportunity for some guys to play some major minutes for us.
All right, well, good luck to you this weekend, and hopefully you come home with another couple of big wins.
Thank you. Go Yotes.